myself? Yeah, as usual. Well, I do suspect that today's stream will be less populated than usual because of the Valentine's Day. Someone called me singing MJ's song? Yeah, it's been because this animation of Smooth Criminal using Ace Attorney sprite was been in my head. It's been living in it rent-free. How are you, Taika? How are you preparing for your big date with Colonel Sanders? Colonel? How is it? I remember it has some weird pronunciation that does not match at all. So, how are you spending these Valentine days? Well, buddies, are you? Maybe you are actually. Shh, it's a secret. Not much of a secret now. Sorry. Hello, my birthday was yesterday, and so I started a hunt for a shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Sword. Ah, so kind of a day as usual, but I guess we don't have the same viewers. Yeah, I think we barely share the audience, so it wouldn't hurt, right? Oh, I did fetch myself something to drink because the Valentine days are spent alone, but there is a person that I might love, and that's myself, and so I've bought myself some good whiskey and have it with cola, don't worry. I think I put too much whiskey. Taika prepared everything, I guess, mostly the setup for a stream. Yeah, about the stream, I see that you've prepared your intro and outro stream pretty recently. They came out pretty good, I gotta say. They're cute. I've barely had any dinner. Yeah! Yeah, woohoo! Etc. What am I even saying? At this point, good talk as usual. Thanks. You're absolutely welcome. I did see that it was a very cute one. I'm kinda sorta watching myself right now. There's a little delay, but it's fine. A little delay? Ah, in the stream, or I guess? I mean, it is a busy day. I guess a lot of people are spending this day in their own way. Like, for example, the guy I was I was streaming with this Friday. Are you blinking to me, Ada? Am I winking? Not quite, it's just this tracking. I don't know why it messes up a lot. Probably because of the visitor classes. They aren't really that good. Yeah. So yeah, Runky went with his partner to some nice hotel. And I also know of some people who just bundle up cozily with their partners. Should I like bring my entire so-called harem in here if that's a love day? Ah. Really, I did put way too much whiskey. It kind of reminds me of that time when I was at the Baltic Sea at this pretty cheap housing with Taika and several other people. And I bought some whiskey for the occasion, and it was Johnny Walker, the red label, and it seems like no matter how much cola you put into it, you would just taste whiskey over and over. I didn't like it at all. My harem, Fukushima, Dianko, you, since you asked to marry me, Camille went somewhere, you know. It wasn't good. Yeah, it definitely was not. I remember UFO on the tree. UFO on the tree? What? I do not remember this one. Was I too drunk to remember? Perhaps? I do mainly remember singing dumb disco polo songs and the city names being heavily misspelled on the souvenirs. It was some blue light. Ah, you meant that faraway light from some kind of lighthouse or tower station? I could barely remember. Now I remember what you are talking about. We were like walking towards the beach, right? But I can ascertain that definitely was not an unidentified flying object. Yeah, I always like to chit-chat a little bit before going into action. Dlaczego ta aplikacja myśli, że ja patrzę spod byka? Yeah, I'm the only one not romantic probably in this day. Like, everybody goes like Valentine, ASMR, Valentine games, Otome games, me like, no. Time to become the law. Also, if some of you are on my Discord server, which can be which you can fetch by the command !Discord. You might have noticed something I've said about a new audio setup. That is, actually it's purely software, because I've installed voice meter. Because I really wanted to hear myself, but the monitoring straight from the OBS was way too laggy. I mean, the delay was way too large and I couldn't hear myself well, and it is crucial to hear yourself if you want to sing well or speak more clearly. Taika, I don't even have a special Valentine's outfit. I haven't changed my outfit since my debut, so we're practically in the same boat, I would say. Hey, Guinea Moments, hi. Nice to see you too in this day. Basically, welcome all of you to the final installment to this streamathon. Somehow I managed to stream for the entire week, and today will be the last day. I don't think I will end Ace Attorney series per se. I just will return to it in less regular intervals. It will be streamed about once weekly or something, and if I wrap the last case around, I will probably just make it into a let's play instead, because gotta say, editing I just like the bigger control over the content you gain. Grzybowski, hi, siemaneczko. Jak mijają walentynki? Czy zgubiłem klatki? Nie, to mój stream się ściął. Znaczy to moje monitorowanie na telefonie. Jeszcze w jednym miejscu postawię i dobra, czas odpalać grę, bo ja w sumie od pół godziny... Od kwadransu gadam. Ale czas na grę, ale mi się wydaje, że chyba ludzie wolą, kiedy jakoś luźno sobie gadam. Cóż. Trzy, 2, 1 i 1, 2. Dobrze. Now the music stops dramatically. I like when you talk in Polish. Is it because it's something you understand better? I mean, not that I'm incapable of talking entirely in Polish, I just decided to make the content more English, so for the bigger reach of sorts. I'm still planning on exclusively Polish karaoke. The very cursed idea of a karaoke, but if people want me to sing some very, very cursed old songs, cheap old songs, then why the hell not? No? Is it no or no? Because that means like two completely opposite things when you... like in Polish and in English. Oh no, my bottle of water. Righties. Now I think we will be ending the Steel Samurai today. Ah, no, as in no. That clears things up. Okay. Now it's the final day and I hope nothing screws up. Like the yesterday whole adventure with stuff disconnecting. Well, just no. If you're sick and tired of this sickly sweet time of Valentine, come with me and serve justice. We're in quarter number 4 as usual. And now courtroom is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. I'm still wondering whether I would do well as his gender brother in some case. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Oh, there is a slight delay for my ears, but I think it might be ignorable enough. At least it isn't as significant as it used to be. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. You don't say. Well, he is not on edge. That's even written in his name. You may call your first witness, Mr. Why did I crack up only now on this voice? He's pissed. Oh lord, this. The prosecution calls Mrs. Vasquez to the stand. Mrs. D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. The mob lady. Will the witness state her name and occupation? Oh yeah, knowing Edward's luck in getting the name and occupation on the witnesses in this particular case, I can only imagine like she will be like, I'm observing the ceiling painting, don't disrupt me, you lowly prosecutor. Yeah. Exactly. D. Vasquez. I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? Also, can you hear me through this, can you hear me through the, game audio? Because I'm entirely unsure how it sounds like. I mean, with the new setup, I might be too loud or too quiet, and I have no idea. Huh? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Wow, her ego is just the biggest at this stand, definitely. Catboy Edgeworth. Very well, Mrs. Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. We know. I know you know, and I know, but they don't know, and we will have to prove that. This is our job, don't you remember? Right. If she's guilty, I will catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Phoenix, can you just go one case without pervy comment? Really, my main question is, do you want to see her with her pants down? You're not a little lawyer. Sorry. The day of the murmur, as we have said previously, I entered the trailer a little before noon. The meeting began at noon sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. Was it? That's a new one. I was fading, so I had Sal taken me on his back. Like the stallion he is. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone sticks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer Brothers later when we all went to Studio 1. That's so. But it was confirmed it was Studio 2. He was killed around the Studio 2, so that kind of stinks. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fading, so you had Sal take you. The man. And there go my fantasies about frightening him on the back. Bubaczyński. Oh my god, it's still this case? Hi Ada, by the way. Hi. Yeah, it is the final day of this particular case. I should definitely wrap it up by today. And if you want to see more of me, Taika is making an otome game stream on Twitch at about 9 p.m. Or not 9, it's not 9, it's 6. 6 p.m. or 6:30. If you want, then you can catch her on Twitch. By the van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. It doesn't look very taken in. Me and Ada, of course. And some other people. There will be more voice acting and more voice switching of sorts. I thought it might be risky to walk. What with that monkey's head toppling over? Which way then? Was that gate somehow open since... Well, it could be possible to pass that monkey's head and this branch around while walking by... How could a van pass? Van added to the court record. Manila used this van to drive Vasquez to Studio 1 after the meeting in the Okay.
I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, you could...
Fuck. I slept like for 5 hours today, sorry. This is the final bottleneck. Let's do this. The day of the murder. I want to be from as usual, we just press or anything because it doesn't cost us anything. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the Obli area? Well, nope. Yeah, she wasn't in the photo. Are you always this terse? Well, yeah, she's too much of a diva to use pointless words. Yes. Oh dear. Yeah, she will be definitely the hardest to press. Does it? Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Except from the bride, I suppose? Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. Slam. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Slam. Stop interrupting the testimony. Wait. The same could be sent to you, Mr. Edgeworth. The time. Called out? And please, stop banging your head to desk. It hurts my ears. Yeah. Oh no, how dirty. Bless you, I didn't sneeze, but thank you. Who kept you away at night, Ada? Ah, this little lady called Caffeine. That's just it. Be right back, I will grab some dinner. Have a nice meal, Taika. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. With the heads. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Huh. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4, and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. But you didn't remember. What about this? Hold on! You had salt take you? What does it mean? Sorry, my mind keeps getting into the gutter. It means what I has just said. I had salt take me in the studio too. Caffeine, strange to flirt with her whole night without any reason. I didn't have any reason, I just really like sweet drinks with caffeine, which will be the death on me. Oh, alright. So, that's a weird contradiction. Slam. And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. Do you want to be hit instead? Or will you call your mafia boys? It irritates me. You have no money. Yeah, Mr. Right, after slapping the desk yourself. She told you off to Hedgeworth. Didn't you hear a thing? So, are you Starbucks junkie? I asked. There's no Starbucks in my city. I just like energy drinks and some homebrew coffee and cola. I'm a coffee junkie. Oops. He realized! Why is it so historically funny to me? Help. It was a 15-minute break. Son ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Something that you didn't? Do you have someone who can verify this? So... no, I mean someone else? Good thing, at least you don't overspend on your drinks. I've literally had Starbucks like twice or thrice in my life, and I get that those are overpriced coffees, but it tastes pretty good, and if I have that very rare occasion to grab one, then why not? One person is enough, but this person is dependent on you, so it isn't, lady. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. But didn't you say that he definitely... that he was able to wolf down the... that he would be able to eat for twice the people? For twice the people? You get what I mean, right? If I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak. Oh, Nick, find anything? I kinda wish she'd say a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. You don't need Starbucks coffee when you can be żubr i puszka for 2 zł 49 groszy. But that's a bear, and bear does not have caffeine. But I'm sure I'll find some contradiction in what she said somewhere. Okay, this rehearsal, 5 fatigues, so 8 table sticks. What do you think? No, but that's from the employee area, so it wasn't prove anything. That's thinking. Hold on, maybe it's the head? You took the 15 minutes. That's what Sol says. Said 2. I'm stuck kind of iffy on this. Either the head or the van, I don't know. Dobrego dnia, dziękuję. Żubr will be probably a good drink for the Disco Polo karaoke stream. I bet. Or harnaś. Or łomża, probably. Or perła. Only the local businesses. Wait. How? I'm so confused, but okay. Either this or it didn't reveal shit. Sadly. Please think the fact over before making accusations. Go Barley 9% for 2,009. Just confused. If that doesn't work, I have no idea as what. Should have saved, I suppose. Was the fun even, like, used? I don't know at this point. If I die, then I die. Ladies and gentlemen. It just keeps bothering me because of the blocked path. Or maybe there's something I overlooked? I let it before noon. There was nobody. So there was nobody around. Do we have anyone in the area? Has to be a rehearsal afterwards. I was supposed to came at 30. We took a 15 minutes break in the meeting. So there's a table on stage, the table in front of the trailer. That is true, definitely, somewhat. I don't know. I'm dying. It doesn't. But please think over before making accusation. Did I forget something? Na. The fan. Hit your desk. Slam it better. Slam. A person slam. But how did I? Is it the bones? But the bones were from the area. She wasn't there, so how would that prove a thing? I'm still confused. Not what I meant. Speed it up. That is a curious case. I'm still thinking. I mean, That doesn't prove a thing, but let's go. Ha! As I thought. So, it was my initial thought? Excuse me? You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not.
What's this now, Mr. Wright?
Look at this.
It's a plate?
This place was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? But somehow there were no bones on the table? Exactly my point! Remember, if you will... Mrs. Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at the table outside the trailer. Yet, there were no bones left on the table. Plate. The plates were bare. Oh! She's getting pissed. What she will make up now? Mrs. Vasquez, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I kind of just assumed that somebody was so hungry that they just ate the bone somehow. I think I know how. You didn't eat the steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You take your steak and throw it somewhere, like the incinerator. Why wasting a perfectly good steak though?
I see. Then what was Mr. Vasquez doing in her break?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Both are pretty... Yeah, meeting the steel samurai though. She was meeting with the steel samurai. Oh, I think it was for real. Oh, there she stands like she's some elegant lady. Ballet dancing lady.
Order! Are you saying?
Yes, Your Honor. As Mrs. Vasquez led the player to eat her steak, she ran into the steel samurai. And then you did it. Slap. You killed him with your own hands. Wasn't there a hole? But that leaves me with a question. How would she obtain the samurai spear?
Mr. Wright! Isn't that a little presumptuous?
What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, right? I'm way too carefully. I don't know, maybe it's just the influence of some ambrosia potion in the air. Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it. Yes? Fascinating. And here I was worried that today would be as boring as all the rest. After all, you're met with the ace attorney. It's never boring. Unless it's an investigation and we are stuck running in circles. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez somehow managed to misread it as Venus. So now she will be the one picking our theory apart. Let's go. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes, and it's pretty heavy. I am, as you can see, a woman of a petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? to be you, but... I've used off 3 of the penalties. Do we save and play the hardcore mode? Possibly! Very possibly! Let's go back. I went to make a dinner and my computer decided to turn off, said Taika. Oh, maybe it wanted to rest? Or maybe it's something in the PC case was having a rendezvous they didn't want to make. They didn't want you to make it out. But what's the statement? It's not impossible. Well, maybe it's not impossible, but maybe improbable. But maybe she didn't have to use her own strength. Maybe like fell or something. Silence. I'm speaking. You're in the court. It isn't your place. Silence. I'm speaking. Oh, but man, she's definitely one menacing woman. The victim was stabbed through the chest from the front, yes? I believe that would indicate that the victim was aware of the killer's presence. Oh. Windows update. I've had that today, so just before the stream, so... Now, the steel samurai costume is quite light and mobile. Compared to the victim, I am weaker and slower. I couldn't possibly win such a fight, not to mention, there is proof I did not have the spear. The happy Windows didn't update during the stream. At least it was courteous enough to tell me that could you please maybe restart your computer now or later? So I did. The photograph of the steel samurai that the victim himself was holding it. Or do you mean suggest that could have wrestled it away from him? Yeah, take that. Why the stutter? Like, I feel like he knows she's making stuff up in minor ways, but he's like, yeah, here's my chance. Slam. If you still think she did it, show us proof. Hey Nick, look at with data we have that spear samurai in the court record. Yeah, she didn't have to use the entire spear. She could have just, you know, the tip was broken off. So she could have just yarned it and for this you don't have to be exactly large. Isn't there something in there that gets to you? Something odd about the samurai spear? Wait! Something the matter, Mr. Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Sorry, Your Honor. I just had an eureka moment. I'd like to take back my previous claim. Very well. I won't hold you to your claim, but I'm afraid I will have to pin up. What? Excuse me. So, apparently my theory was wrong. Well... what's this? You're taking back your claim? Let's backtrack for a moment. I want to consider whether the witness could have used the spear samurai or not. However, that has no bearing on the case. Meaning... the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. And for knowing that, I had to use my penultimate penalty. How sad. What? What is the meaning of this? Yeah, because it was broken, it could have been used, or it was held by the duct tape. So it could have broken off in his chest. That's true. The spear was
was found lying next to the victim's body.
I have proof, Your Honor. Taika, you're right, but it updates when you are not using the computer. I mean, it's trying to be like, you're kind of not basic right now. Can I? May I destroy now, please? I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as a murder weapon. Could have that. If that isn't it, I have no idea what. Yeah, but I can download and do so pre-install. Possibly. I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that the spec broke during the morning action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how was it possible for someone to stab a man who's wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Good question.
Order! Order!
Yeah, this too. This what? Because I'm a little lost on the moment. I love how they completely ignore her saying like stop slamming your hands on the table, it annoys me. And right in Edward just do the chord bongos. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what your... Silence! Are you winning, son? Not quite, Lunky, not quite. Also, I'm pretty surprised you came in watching. I thought you were on vacation with your partner? I'm the one testifying here and I will be heard. Jeez, the ego of that son of a bitch. Are you quite sane? Are you sane, lady? Or maybe she's just the most sane in the court, but just so used to the position of power that she couldn't stop from ordering everybody around. I don't know, it's just kind of funny for me that she orders Edgeworth around. She's like, cool. So silence and just well, he doesn't say anything. Oh, so you were on the holiday, Donkey. You just came back home. Was it good? Did you have fun? Did you have a nice breakfast? With red wine and chocolate and everything? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell, what was? How was Hammer killed?
Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer?
I don't... well... But still the truth, I can't at this point. And a stream, perfect for resting and enjoying life. Since when? I just really need to think quite a lot, like, what else could have left a circular kind of hole? What could have that been? He hadn't been run over. He wasn't poisoned. He was definitely hit with a blunt force somewhere in his chest. It was fun. I wish I could have had hotel breakfast every day. I mean, isn't that what makes it special, that you can't have it every day? Then it becomes a routine. I think I gotta save here too, because, well, it will be just a hardcore ride. One strike and I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. Of course I can't.
Of course!
Can the antics right? No, can the antics right?
I have to agree, Mr. Right. At least pretend that you think you might know.
But am I supposed to bullshit? You will penalize me either way.
Not to self.
Think before speaking. You have a point there, but it's fun to dream about it. I mean, dreams are the sweet spice of life. Sweet spice? Is anything a sweet spice? Well, or either the spice or the sweetness of life. A tough crowd.
Well, Mr. Right, can you tell us?
Okay, let me pretend. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was?
I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Right.
So, if I say I can, it's bad. If I can't, it's also bad somehow. Like, excuse me?
Very well. Let's see the murder weapon then.
Was he crushed under the head? By any chance? It could have been that bold stake. Because it was used to poison him to sleep. Like, this seems like the most possible weapon. Nick! Think about this some more! Think? Since when I am able to think? Please! How could it possibly be a murder weapon? She has a point. Something the matter? No, Your Honor, nothing? Oof, at least I wasn't penalized. But it could have been the blunt force of the spear, but we saw proof that it was not this, so that doesn't make sense, and that doesn't make sense, and if she murdered somebody with a bone, that would be quite funny, but let's go. So it's not this one. Something the matter? No, Your Honor, nothing. But we are supposed to prove that it's not that thing. Trakkun? Excuse me? That would be kind of funny. No, it was not. Like I said, he doesn't look like ran over or something. At least we aren't penalized, so we can just throw his shit until it sticks. The photo? And how exactly? Oh, did he impale himself by any chance? Maybe? So, well, no, she's definitely not pleased with it. Listen, I'm not the most logical person, but pierced through the chest by a spear. It is a spear. But maybe it's a spike, somehow? Wait! So, he was murdered in Studio 2? And driven away. He was killed by this spike! How could I have not... Look at this photo!
What is this? Why, that's the camera standing at the top of the stairs!
Sometimes my logical instincts wake up way too late. But at least you got it.
Order! Order! We cannot have order in this trial will be suspended.
So we will have the longest trial in the recent history of courts.
Mr. Wright, what is this all about?
This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. Now that will be the talk of the media. After to clean it up. Nothing. That is the photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it. The parallels. See the fallen man in this photo. See how the fence post pierced him through the chest.
What?
Check your ears. I said what I said. Bills Edgeworth. Miles? Or is it Miles? I think it is Miles.
Are you saying?
Yes. Like, I imagine the chat face going, yes. What happened 5 years ago? Got repeated. Has happened again. Did you see the shock on her face just for this split second? Interesting.
Mr. Wright, continue.
It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Mrs. DeVasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. I imagine that didn't have to take too much force. Though, whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. Hey, here we have the tense, sweating face again. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer. He died in the same way that he caused another man to die. Wow. Get some sleep, please. Those dark eyes around those dark circles around your eyes do not do you any favor. 5 years ago. That's his point, precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing stuff. I don't know what to do if she isn't found guilty and you are out of work. But she will pay you peanuts too, so maybe not. You deny that what I said is true? Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of the argument that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet, the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And how is that exactly against the case? I mean, it's pretty easy to deduct now. He got killed and she loaded that guy into the van with salmonella and she drove away to the studio to put the body here like nothing ever happened. And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the bodies to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all on this pace of a 15 minutes break? How could I have disposed of the body? That's actually easy. The break on the meeting at the trailer lasts 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed his hand in his costume? There wasn't enough time.
Indeed.
They have a van.
Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body?
You'd be surprised. I bet she could do it. When it's not what I meant! I meant when people think they love a machine. I picked the wrong option. That's not that's incredible. If you claim everything, show me proof. Show me proof. How am I supposed to do that? But there is proof that I won't have you make it unsubstantiated claims. Wait a second. How does he know what I'm thinking? Huh. I need only look at the cold sweat there on your face to know what you're thinking.
Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to reconsider your claim? Well, Mr. Wright, how could have she dealt with the body?
Oh, so I guess it should have been she had another way. Another way to carry the body. Congratulations, Ada. Great reasoning. Wonderful reasoning, definitely. For instance, actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then.
Mr. Wright,
Please show how she carried that body. Raccoon! Mrs. Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1 and you used the studio van to do it. Shook it. Shook. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards. We went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Cunning. Hold on, right? Don't forget, it was Salmonella that drove the van. But, how does it make any difference who drove it? I mean, Salmonella was at her beck and call, so it basically made no difference. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Not quite, I mean, he definitely meant to... He didn't want to kill him, he's a wet sponge. Of course he wasn't. So, without Mr. Manila noticing anything, she put the body in the van, then managed to put the body in the costume? Are you seriously suggesting this is possible? Of course I'm not serious. This is giving me a headache already. Just because she didn't want to, you know... Just because she didn't want to get out of it doesn't mean... And for the most confused laughter in the series, the award goes to Miles Edgeworth. I was kidding to her, lighten up the proceeding. Lighten? You can't you can't lighten up a murder.
Mr. Wright, the court refrains refrain from making claims in jest.
Yes, Your Honor. Of course, Salmonella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Mrs. Vasquez could have done that alone. I'm surprised that the game didn't end me.
Mr.
still feel like I'm just going to nervously save, over-saving and overwriting and over-saving and more saving until the save will save me. Also, don't forget they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. Don't you tell me it's burned. I mean, unless it was done from some really... You can light it up murder, but they will add arson charges for that. I mean... yeah, that's one possible way. Light me up now, baby. Light me up, tell me where to go. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. But was it that small? If it would fit the costume, maybe it would fit. Well, Mrs. Vasquez, shall I continue? The music stops. What now? No need. Is that before you feel a little on edge because you could have been uncovered? You're smarter than you look, Mr. Right. I lose. You win. It was fun. Why do I have a nagging feeling that there will be some ass pull right here and now? I win? Dotto. Dotto. Dotto intensifies. Wow, like the entire chord has gone silent. So what happens next? Huh? Don't you question mark me? Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost something like that? She just did. I just said that. Wait, so you mean... De Vasquez, so it was you? You killed the hammer. Dotto. More Dotto. The ultimate Dotto. Who can say? Are you sure I did? Well, it was definitely not Salmonella because he had less of a motive. Mr. Right. We just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right? But that is only a possibility. Don't you fun for telling me? I know it's you, but I only have to prove it was possible for you to get into the costume. Get into the costume, D. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Right. What?
Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Thank you, Edgeworth. Very cool. Of course, it's acetone. Edgeworth, how is it that you like to put up the facade of being all cool and posh, yet you lose your temper so easily? It's fascinating. It's truly fascinating to me.
Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edward isn't sure. Yeah, we noticed that. He is definitely on edge. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Let's testify again. Just maybe there's something we missed. I'd like you to testify again. Testify? Again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. No. Listen, lady, you picked the wrong person. The unstoppable force is meeting the immovable object, huh? Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? Maybe because we have like more evidence? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I say it again? Maybe it could be digged apart even further. You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Huh? Damn. Ah. 世界でおい一番の姫様 And that's this lady. To come so far only to fail. As it seems there are no further Why am I yawning? I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Mrs. Vasquez.
Objection!
Huh? Edgy? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I was hoping to... I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. Edgeworth, please, you know that between the two of us, there's only one master of a bluff, and that ain't you. I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting. That's so unlike you. What's going on? I didn't. Somebody help this lost child. Edgeworth yearning Phoenix lifestyle. Yeah, that was what I was referring to by there's only one master of bluff. Because that's Phoenix Wright himself, Wobaczynski. With a decisive sip on drink. It didn't mix too well. I see. Very well. And somehow you're allowed to.
Objection!
Again? Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. Huh? 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 Wasn't that this situation just... Edgeworth, that situation was playing into your hands and you... What are you doing? That is interesting. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little points in making Mrs. Vasquez repeat herself.
Grow a pair. Another pair of eyebrows.
What exactly did you want her to testify about?
Well, yes, indeed. Verily, I say, ergo. Oh my god. It shouldn't have been left in your hands, Edgeworth. Like, if you want to do such things, then maybe at least write them down or something. The infallible cool Mr. Prosecutor is just cutely stumbling. Oh, how cute. Mr. MacDonald Hare. Ada playing with desk chair again. Desk chair, yes, definitely that was what it was said. I mean, that's their fault. With the slamming of the desk, etc. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body.
After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter.
Yeah, that is a good point. I'm pretty sure it was not said at all. Nick, what did Edgeworth? Yeah. Maybe he isn't as ruthless with that pursuit for getting somebody guilty. Like, or maybe he just has enough of her. I mean, he's human too, after all. Even though we've heard the numerous claims about the demon prosecutor. Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But wasn't he the one that said he always get the guilty verdict? I mean, he will get the guilty verdict for his client. After all that, Edgeworth. Oh. I was with Sal and Obak, the security lady, when we found the body. Huh? Was she in there? I don't remember. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldback, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying, "He did it!" I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Don't bullshit me, lady, they were left in the studio. Then I went home.
I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright,
your cross-examination. Why do I make him sound like Patrick from the SpongeBob? Okay, Nick, we're close, real close. She might be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need to twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. Righties. Yeah, but this is my first question. Like, the script was found in the studio. Why did she... Hold it. The script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen.
But you sent us after this. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. And by what chance, perhaps? Like, if you never did it, then how would you know? Was it because of the monkey blocking the brute? Why? There was a murder after all. Hold on. What? You just told on yourself. She just told on herself. Did you see it? Like, she knew there was a murder before she came to the studio. And she doesn't strike me as a fake. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh, yeah, I guess. Very well, Mrs. Vasquez, please continue.
Objection!
He felt the stink. And he couldn't think. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Edgeworth? What's gotten into you, truly? Do you want to find her guilty? What happened to you? Think. Mrs. Vasquez, she said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had known about the murder before going to Studio One. The power of basic logic strikes again. Huh? Order! Order! Mr. Edgeworth! What you have just said is a reasonable observation. Yeah. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would such a move. Or are you thinking to a career change to defense? No, I just think he's fed up of bullshitting for somebody who's so obviously guilty of many crimes. Like, you know, being an uptight prick is a double-edged sword. And especially if you're very uptight about your morals. And he's probably like, she's so obviously guilty, then even I want her in the jail. So I will do it. And so, we will bring her together to jail. Ooh, that's so wondering. I just choose to believe it was for the justice and not for Mr. Right. Bow. I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Slam. Now, Mrs. Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. Nah, he's just helping the truth. This is what he says, right? But there's a person, and I had to get the lights on because, well, I had to get the lights on because the tracking was losing its very essence of... I forgot the word. So the prosecution is the cahoots in the defense. What kind of court is this? In the cahoots! And they've known each other. What kind of things she's thinking? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Oh, Red Queen Hat came on the red carpet. I to jest prawdziwa rozprawa, nie w jakiejś pełnej dojców rąpie. Hi, Ada. Siemaneczko, Red Queen. Danganronpem jeszcze nie grałam, chociaż dla mnie interesujące są te niektóre historie tych postaci, a szczególnie te ich umiejętności. The ultimate this and that, wiesz o czym. She called our shipping. Care to elaborate, Bubaczyński? What did I call your shipping? Or maybe she called out shipping? Perhaps. You know, isn't that a form of nepotism either way? But, you know, they're just in a very legal cahoots. I mean, nobody could just tell like, no, the defense and the prosecution can't have gone to the same school. Yes, spoilers. Edward's Phoenix shippings, as in cahoots. What does it mean? Celestia miała najlepsze marzenie. Polecam serdecznie, zagraj! Ale na promce łów, bo inaczej się nie opłaca. Akurat o Celestii Ludeberg wiem i... czemu by nie? Troszeczkę przypomina mi to, jak kiedy czytałam... Jakoś mi luźno przypomina, kiedy czytałam Golden Kamuy i tam pod... najnowsze rozdziały pojawił się taki pirat, którego największym marzeniem było kupienie wielkiej wyspy i założenie wielkiej rodziny. Bycie królem wyspy. Bycie królem wyspy, bycie królem zamku. Rozumiesz, Parallela, rozumiesz? Judge is like... Very well. The witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. Hammer? But Powers was the one injured? What? Oh, Lou, hi! I think I've seen you for the first time in here. Hi! How are you on the Valentine's Day? And what caused you to pursue the cases with me instead? But it was Powers that he was injured, so if that ain't it, I have no idea what is it. You knew that Hammer was injured, but he wasn't injured. It was Powers, so it stakes. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai that was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself! Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. What? What is going on at this point? Like, okay, so we kind of get that he dragged him and stole the costume, but... and he came to pretend to be him, but... why? This... what? Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? Because he was the one who was supposed to come here, huh? And she gasped. I already said it was Sal who told me. But he wasn't there. So, That's right, he must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? That doesn't make sense in the conspiracy theory. Mrs. Vasquez! You heard Mr. Manila wrong, you saw Hammer limping. No, the second one seems more sound. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manila. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't that Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, she didn't know who was exactly injured, so she just knew it was a steel samurai. That came in just dragging the leg, so yeah. Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. What is... Ah! The light bulb went off in his head. And when he was doing this? Well, tap, 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 the Edgeworth metronome. It would have to have been after they put on the steel samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly! Mrs. Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the steel samurai limping. And Mr. Hammers was in the steel samurai suit. That makes me wonder, did she mean to murder Powers to get rid of him in the studio? Or did he, like... What was the motive still stays unclear for me, I think. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured this morning. Excellent. Excellent. Order! Order! I will have order! What will you order today? The chicken buffalo wings! For more burning! The palate. Witness. Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Where did she have this evil magistrate costume though? In the van? I mean, that wouldn't be unreasonable since it's used to carry equipment around. Very well. I have a question for you. Urk. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Trafiła kosa na kamień. Jak to mówią. Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard time, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death, nothing. Because I suppose it wasn't meant to be Mr. Powers. Yes, you would need a motive. What I was saying. Why would you have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Of course we can't say that I can't prove it. It is. Okay, I have proof and I'll show it to you. I present to the court evidence as to Mrs. Vasquez's motive in this murder. And not this, not this, not this. I don't know if this looks the most reasonable. Like, she was tired of this guy and wanted to get rid of him. Well, w imię Ojca i Syna, zaraz się zaczyna. Let me out! Okay, is that where I lose? This is shit-proof? This is the photo from before? This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Mrs. Vasquez? I don't think it's so, because the text is so generic, it says nothing. 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With the Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for the trial. It began on that day, 5 years ago. Huh? I believe that was an accident, but I'm still just confused. Why getting rid of the camera after 5 years? Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighted him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer for additional money. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. The villain, the criminal playing the villain, yeah. But it's interesting how the supposedly opposing force, now they are playing the same tune. That's just intriguing. Like, they both just want her out. And that's it. That's just it. I think Edward came to his senses. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed the Vasquez, not the other way. But she killed him from inside and then from the outside. She broke him. What motive would Mr. Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you just say, I will have no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me, and I never get rid of a useful man. It's a policy of mine. So probably he grew too old and too useless for you when the next meet came. You threw him under the bus. Huh? Is that it? Mr. Wright, please explain Mrs. Vasquez for motive. It could have been like without the motive, so we just gotta again throw things until they stuck. Okay, let's save it. Also, I need to use the facilities. Objection, that was objectionable. Okay. I'm trying to
how do we prove? Allow me to present the court evidence proving Mrs. Vasquez's motive. This does not, and this, and this. I don't know that it's like the closest thing, but... I'm at loss, truly, like... That makes sense, like, this makes the most sense, but... Do we take that? This is my proof! I'd say all it proves that the defense has completely lost its marbles. Mr. Wright, the course that request that find your marbles immediately. I have no marbles. Yeah, but we can't peruse the already strained. Cierpliwość, zapomniałam słowa. Patience. Allow me to present. What did I choose, please? Perhaps is. Done. No, that doesn't make sense. This is my proof. Is that a proof that the defense attorney has completely lost his marbles? Find your marbles. The ultimate power of the authority. Infinite marbles. Sleeping pills, sticks on a fingerprint, an accident. Did she want for him to be careless? Fun, right? No. Screwed up. Well, that wasn't it. Then what could have that been? By any chance, what could have that been? I mean, yeah, I decided that, yeah, the scrapbook doesn't make sense, even though it says, like, well, yeah, it wasn't about willpowers, isn't anything. Do we just use the same photo? Somehow? For the third time? I still don't know. That also doesn't make sense. Please. I already don't have any marbles. I have negative marbles at this point. Please. Okay, is it this? This is my proof. I'll prove they completely lost the marbles. Mr. Wright, the court requests that you find your marbles immediately. I'm truly lost. As usual, I will just throw stuff out and sticks. Sleeping pills and a large bone. This is also possible. It tells us how to. I lose. No. The fan also doesn't make sense, so. Don't know at this point. Does that tell us by any chance? Allow me to present. Did that change anything? Did it tell us why it was this?
Wait. Not guilty. God. Oh, my head became spinning. I lost you for a moment. Oh my god. How was that? That's one of the very few things left, like the spear. There's the camera that had nothing to do, and the autopsy, like... Okay, this is the closest thing I could think of, truly. Guess that's why she wanted to... Nothing fits, then! I feel like I'm truly losing my marbles. Ah! She decided to do this. Maybe this is a scientific cycle. Tells us why she wanted to prove it. The court requires that you find your marbles. Okay, I should have really noted down, like, as you can see, I'm truly clueless. And in the truest sense. This. I'm becoming this. My inner snakes are coming out. No. Could the profiles somehow be used as proofs? No. Na. I mean, a sprawczość powietrza, czy co? Tak, to jest dźwięk mojego uchodzącego ego. Czy ja to prezentowałam? Truly, did I not? How could I have been this the guide map per chances? The court requests that you find your marbles. I think that I've showed everything at this point. I'm in pain, Pekko. My heart is in pain. If your ego is going down, should I strike it a bit? My ego is going down. My ego is not an organ. I don't know. If the camera doesn't do it, then I have nothing else, and everything has some sort of explanation for me. But okay. I'd say that it only proves that this is still. Why did I not choose at this point? Not, and not! Somehow! Nothing works! Phoenix, right, I'ma fucking kick your ass! I mean, that is my fault because I said, I have evidence, and then nothing works as an evidence! Like, Should we revisit it but just, doing it like one by one? I mean, the 20 base never works, so let's just go bit by bit, baby. I forgot about something, I don't know. Yes, I am in fact losing my fucking marbles. But if I
won't show anything. I will definitely lose the game. Ukochana mi Ada, obawiam się, że odpowiedziała źle, że have no motive. I niestety dokonałaś sobie przy drugiej opcji. Klikam ze streamu jeszcze raz. Paintecho. Czyli przegram. O nie. Byłam zbyt pewna siebie i przegrywam. Gratulacje, Ada. Gratulacje. Od którego punktu mnie to weźmie? Cóż, czas przegrać. Czas przegrać, moi drodzy. It's time for me to go. Down in flames. Źródło gameplaye. Jakby jest powód, dla którego nie brałam gameplayów. Po to, żeby cierpieć. But I gotta say that this thing about losing the marbles is quite funny. I think that the attorney definitely looks its muscle. Mr. Wright, the court requires that you find your marbles immediately, and I'm afraid I have to penalize you for like fucking hell. Ada przegrywa, Kamil ucieka i zostawia swoją ukochaną Adę. How the turntables? Oh. Nie powinien to być. I guess will surrender the course immediately. Because of my stupidity. I've lost my lion man. Where did he... Powers! Huh? So I will have to repeat it the entire day because I fucked up. No. Is there any way out? Even illegal? No. I can't repeat it all over again. No. No. I will play to whatever dainty now. Tyle mocno. Dziękuję. Ale nie ma czego, po prostu byłam głupia. Nie, po prostu. Okay, just Captain Cyber. Okay, it's a minigame. Maybe... Alba przybywająca z przyszłości nie powinna być. No, jestem mistrzynią w... byciu, gdzie nie powinnam być. Miałam nadzieję to skończyć dzisiaj i akurat w najgłupszy możliwy kuźwa sposób. Po prostu żenada. No czysta żenada, pani Ado. Czysta żenada. No ja nie wiem, jak to inaczej nazwać. Po prostu... nie wiem. RIP. Rest in pieces. For some reason, I'm just like looking whether there is something I could tap around by any chance somehow. Huh? No crashes. Analytics says nothing. So, I guess. Skończ teraz, żeby mieć czas na przygotować na swój drugi stream. Może przejść to w międzyczasie i stream niespodzianką nocą? Nie wiem, czy mogę. Ja mam do jutra naprawdę ten... Mam nadzieję to skończyć dzisiaj. Ale to byłoby tak krótko. Naprawdę, ja nie chcę tego tak skończyć. Teraz zobaczę, czy jest troszeczkę nielegalny sposób. Rozumiesz, o co mi chodzi? Troszeczkę, jak na przykład w Androidzie mogą po prostu sobie zmienić numer pokoju i teleportować się. Wiesz, o co mi chodzi? Ej, fakt. Na razie nie będziecie tego widzieć, ale... Maybe, just maybe, there is something... Okay, Steam Apps, show me your magic. Per any chance. Boże, Ada Pirat. A co myślałeś? Jeżeli mogę władać czasem, przynajmniej tej wirtualnej rzeczywistości, to mogę tego użyć, prawda? Dobra, spadam. Przepraszam raz jeszcze. Ale nie ma za co, nie no, dziękuję, że mi powiedziałeś. Przynajmniej wiem, gdzie poległam, nie? Unity, nope. The hell is mono? 2010, no, this is all for browsers. Pat, możesz to ogarnąć kiedy indziej. Ale to jest szanujące. What is invert national files? Unity 3D? What? Stuff, that is... it's all in Unity, so I don't think that there's anything I can do because that is encoded in some weird... I should have known it would have been so easy. Well, I have to finally admit my defeat and end it here. I have several save files, but this is the closest one I have, which is 3 days old. So I have to do the trial and the investigation all over again. I mean, I love the game, at least. I guess I'm done. Maybe I should sing something to make up for it, because I don't want it to be so short. Though I admit I haven't exactly planned for it then that way. I mean, I do have the unfortunate... I seem to have the unfortunate ability to completely screw up my save files. First Valhalla, where I completely screwed up my progress, and I screwed up my progress here again. Because reasons. Reasons untold. Well, gotta say, I'm pretty bad at taking wódkę Soflera, Sen o Dolinie. Czy ja to znam? Aż sprawdzę. Może jest to coś, co kojarzę, ale nigdy nie znałam nazwy. Znowu w życiu mi nie wyszło.
W życiu mi nie wyszło. Uciec
Pragnę wielki sen. Na dno tamtej doliny,
gdzie sprzed dni doganiam
doganiam
cię.
czas.
Tamten czas lub jego cień.
Chyba jest lekkie opóźnienie. Cóż,
Znowu
obłok ten różowy. Dum. Pod nim dom i tamta sień. Wszystko w białej mej dolinie.
gdzie sprzed dni
Wielki
doganiam cię.
dzień. Jeszcze głębiej zapaść sen. O, wcześniej późno jest. Późno jest.
Sam wiem, że zbyt
Późno jest.
by zaczynać wszystko znów.
Późno. Choć także z drugiej strony nic nie może przecież wiecznie trwać. Nic nie może przecież wiecznie trwać. Co zesła los trzeba będzie stracić.
Nic nie może przecież wiecznie trwać. Co ze solo trzeba będziesz nam zapłacić. Ale się depresujący stream zrobił. Przepraszam, po prostu przegniotło mnie to trochę, bo się... Po prostu mam skłonność do osobistego przywiązywania się do postaci i tak wychodzi. I tak to wychodzi niestety. Mogę pośpiewać albo mogę zagrać w, nie wiem, w Mustache. Jakąś pozytywniejszą jakieś pozytywniejsze obce piosenki puścić. Zapewne. Ostatnio dodali bardzo fajny pakiet z takimi bardzo fajnymi piosenkami hardkorowymi. Szczególnie jest taki 10. poziom, który mam trochę problem przejść. Prawie już się na poziomie nawalanki się robi, muszę przyznać. Nie no, też nie mówię, że to źle. O, trzeba Adę wkręcić w jakąś grę z permadeath. W jakim sensie permadeath? Czyli, że jak przegram, to cała gra idzie się gonić? Cały progres idzie się gonić? Cóż, to nie jest tak, że ja tak każdą grę się przyjmuję. Znaczy, chodzi ta konkretna, ta prawnicza po prostu, no... Ma taki zestaw postaci, które po prostu przypada mi do serca i... No tego by jeszcze brakowało, żeby w takiej grze było permadeath, gdybym musiała zaczynać od nowa. Bo mi skasali typa. Satyści wy jedni, ty czacie. Banda satystów. Z kim ja żyję? Z kim ja żyję? Czy mogę uspokoić nerwy? Jakimś cudem. Zwykle używam tej gry, żeby się trochę uspokoić, więc... Bo nie trzeba za dużo myśleć, bo niestety... Jestem trochę jak Gamszu, ponieważ myślenie nie jest moją mocną stroną. Żarcik. Nie mam Dark Soulsów jeszcze, więc... Oj tam, jeszcze nie wyciągnęliśmy batów i page'ów. No jeszcze by tego brakowało.
こんな日も来るなんてあなたもバリぼっちだね
Ale to głośne. Serio, jakie to jest głośne? Czy to się da jakoś... Nie, moment, to było tu. Powinno być lepiej. Na pewno znośniej. No halo, nie widzisz, że tu się gra dzieje? Mój drogi ekranie. Chwila, to nie to. Happy Hardcore? Tak też jak fajna muzyka była. Tak, gry rytmiczne są pełne tego typu właśnie muzyki, ponieważ one są szybkie i rytmiczne i trzeba nawalać. Tego jeszcze nie przechodziłam. Możemy sprawdzić na rozgrzewkę 7. 7 jak liczba fanów teraz mi w tej chwili pokazywana przez YouTube'a. Brrr. A masz, pa. Od razu mówi, że nie jest jakaś wściekła, na to, że jakaś dobra w to. Tak. Ta muzyka jest trochę ciekawa teraz nagle. Za dużo rzeczy się naraz stało. Muszę i tak wejść do opcji, przepraszam. Teraz będzie od nowa, dobrze? Dobrze, od nowa. Nie będę tego przedłużać za dużo na siłę, prawda? Nie będę.
O, nie będę, nie bójcie się. Raz, 2, 3, 4. Zajrzyj na górę, no nie będzie tego dobrze? Raz, dwa.
Co się stało z offsetem?
3, 2, 1.
Coś mi nie pasuje. Muszę... Zagram coś zaufanego, żeby sprawdzić, co się stało z offsetem, bo coś mi nie pasuje. Wyjątkowo to dzisiaj jest za darmo. W sumie i tak zapłaciłem prawie 100 za ten pakiet muzyki, ale myślę, że było warto. Jest boost do doświadczenia. No, coś się dzieje nie tak. Próbuję zagrać z pamięci. Raz, dwa, raz, dwa. O, co jest z offsetem? Brain power? Nice. Tak, mi się to nawet udawało, ale coś się... Raz, dwa, trzy, po. Raz, dwa, trzy, po. Raz, dwa, trzy, po. Po. Raz, dwa, trzy, po. To. Raz, dwa, trzy, po. Raz, dwa, trzy. Chwileczkę, czy to było za późno, czy to było za wcześnie? Próbuję sobie już przypomnieć, jaki był mój problem. No, muszę to wykalibrować. Nigdy wcześniej nie musiałem tego robić, ale to chyba przez ten nowy... Chyba przez to nowe coś. Adrenaline is pumping. Adrenaline is pumping. Generator. Automatic lover. That's closer to the real thing. The virtual cable actually seems to like get some latency into the input, and this is why I had this lag. Fuck, I lost the combo. Adrenaline's pumping, generator, automatic lover. Da-da-dum-dum, atomic, alright, drive blockbuster. Ouchie! Brain power. Call me leader, cocaine. Pa 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 brr. Don't you try it, don't you try it. Elevator, kill machine. There's no fate, take control. Brain power, let the bass kick. Oh. I think I'm deconcentrated. But I'm gonna take this. But I'm gonna take this, you know, with honor. I gotta take with his honor, even though this is far from my best result, and I absolutely can't tell you I am able to take it. Liczyłem na śpiewany refren. Przepraszam, ale nie... Przepraszam, ale nie umiem mówić w tym... Może tutaj uda mi się wbić jeszcze w tym? Może tu mi się jeszcze uda wbić w ranking? Przepraszam, ale nie umiem w jakieś kosmiczne języki. Imagine being an attorney and getting to your stress after everything, not by yelling, but by hitting up some weird creatures. Creatures! I always screw up this word. Ah, fuck my combo. Chyba to nie jest jakiś śmiesznik, tylko jakiś OEU. To jest imię syna Elona Muska. To tyle wam mogę powiedzieć. Ale uwielbiam rytm tej piosenki z jakiegoś powodu. My life. Get wrecked! This funny lady, how appropriate for the stream. I kind of feel like rage quitted the entire thing. Still. I mean, I have another stream to prepare for. I have something I should finish writing. There's a lot of things. Maybe I will console myself by watching something else. Sorry. I don't know, something's just not happening.